What is it like to drive in Croatia? This video will tell you that information and more right after this. Enjoy! First thing I want to say about Croatia is that it is an amazing place to visit. It should be one of the countries that's on the top of your list. It is beautiful. By the way, pardon my horrible, dirty windscreen. Not cool. Anyways, point one, driving in cities. Go slow. As you can see, it is quite tight. There are lots of people who are walking along the side of the road, and sometimes they can jump out in front of you. And it's not like they're trying to get hit by a car. They just are very comfortable coming out from the side of the car, trying to get out of their car, come around the car, cross the street. There are crosswalks in places, but not everywhere. But as you can see, they're right on the side of the road. And I want to remind you that when I took this video, it was the least busy that you would ever see Croatia. Now, this is in Dubrovnik, and it is a great illustration of a Croatian city, how tight the streets are. And this is one of the most popular tourist destinations. So there's just no room to make these roads bigger. These old cities were made very close together and with the intentions of wagons or people walking, not with the intentions of people driving. So when you come here, just go slow. When you come here, it will be much busier than it is right now as I'm driving through it. This was in October of 2020 at the height of one of the worst tourist events on the planet, let alone the height of one of the worst events that we've ever experienced in our lives. So I was blessed to be here. It was fun. It was beautiful. I was glad I came. They at least looked before they crossed. That was nice. But I noticed that in the cities, cars are definitely secondary. Pedestrians are number one. Just be cognizant of that, be respectful of the pedestrians, and be mindful that you could run into somebody if you're not careful. So driving slow is the best policy, even though the locals aren't going to like it. I got flipped the bird a couple times because I was driving slower than I normally would, but I'm used to American streets, which are wider and not as many obstacles in the way. And just to tell you, I had an accident in Croatia, and it was because I was trying to back up on one of these narrow streets. So that's another point. Don't back into things. Don't back up. Make sure you're driving through, and if you are backing up, make sure the rental car you got has a nice backup camera so you're not making a stupid mistake like I did. In a second, we're going to see a guy just hop out from by his car, and it was jarring to me. That's why I drove slow. I was talking about it the whole time, and then all of a sudden, bing, here comes a dude out from his car right here. Yeah, that's normal. That was actually tame compared to some that I had seen while I was driving. So that's just one point of driving in Croatia. Another is these coastal highways are beautiful. I went on sunny days, and then there were these stormy days. And so this is an example of starting to be a stormy day. It's still dry there. By the way, notice this really tight turnout for the bus. That's on a main highway on the coastal highway in Croatia. So you really it's wise not to be going high rates of speed because you don't know what you're about to run into. And the coast of Croatia is on the edge of these mountains. They're beautiful, but there's a lot of cliff faces to the right, and people, like you can see, just park right off the edge. So driving fast is not an option in most places in Croatia. You do need to be aware of what you're about to get into. So, beautiful bridge. By the way, the Croatian drivers are some of the best drivers I've seen. They are really good at driving, really aware, paying attention. Now, this day I drove, there was a huge storm. Right now I was in the, not the worst part of it, but the rain poured down coming over the mountains and just dropped water like you wouldn't believe. So the storms can get crazy like this, and the only good options are to either pull over, drive slowly, but do not drive the speed limit. The speed limit here, 130 kilometers an hour. That's 75 miles an hour in the U.S., approximately 75 to 80. There's no way you could drive that on a rainy day. I drove their toll roads on sunny days. Those things are fantastic. They take care of their roads in Croatia, and it is not a bad trip from Dubrovnik to Split on a sunny day. On a day like that day was horrible. Now here are examples of just how gorgeous Croatia is. It is one of the most beautiful places. Sure, the coastal highway can get narrow at points, and they do butt right up against cliff faces. And I don't mean just this. What we're saying here is nothing. What we see here in a minute is nothing. They have actual cliff faces that can go up 200-300 feet, even higher, right next to the highway. So you have to watch for falling debris, because anytime you have a cliff like that, there's a chance that rocks will come down. But this highway, I want to say, is the most gorgeously placed highway I've ever driven. I've driven the Pacific Coast Highway. I've driven one of National Geographic's top highways in England, which I wasn't impressed with, although I love England, but it wasn't as impressive as this one. This one, every chance it gave me, impressed me. I would have oohs and ahs constantly on this trip when I was driving. It was just so gorgeous. So that's just another point. You should drive when you go to Croatia. There is no reason not to drive in Croatia, except when you get to the cities. Find a good place to park and hoof it in the cities. Outside of the cities, drive. Go see this beautiful landscape that is breathtaking. Now, this road wasn't an awesome road, but we were coming upon this just beautiful little village off to the side, and this was on the way to Stone City Walls, which I have another video for. I have all of this in different ways on different videos if you'd like to watch them. Some of my favorite. This is right across the narrow strait there to Korčula, which is the hometown, birthplace of Marco Polo, and it's a gorgeous little place to visit. But anyways, I thought I'd give you an idea of what it's like to drive on a side road. This is a side road up to a monastery right by Orobiš, across from Korčula, and how narrow it is. You got to be careful. I had sped up the video just to get through it a little bit, but it was pretty here, very pretty. These trees on the side of the hill were leaning at a 45-degree angle almost, and I was amazed that they could stay up. But what a gorgeous place this is. Just be real careful, because like I said before, if you're going to go and there will be a lot more traffic. I went at the least traffic time anybody's ever going to see, which was fantastic. I'm going to go back, and I know it's going to be busy, but it is well worth it to visit Croatia. It is well worth it to get a car and to take it on one of these ferries and cross from island to island, but have a means of transportation. If you're in a city, park your car, and hoof it, but the ability to get around in Croatia is well worth it. This was a gorgeous beach. I just was impressed. By the way, Croatian beaches, notoriously rocky, not very sandy, but they are still beautiful. The places, the locations are, there's so much gorgeous and beautiful in Croatia. Now here's another example of what it's like to be, this is a small village at the very tip of the, I think it's the Peljusac Peninsula in Croatia, not, probably 10 miles from Oro Beach, maybe a little farther. And it's narrow. It's all narrow. So going slowly and being careful is paramount. By the way, if you're going so fast, that temptation in the United States is to drive fast. I have a lead foot too, and this is sped up, but if you're going too fast, you are going to miss something. You are going to miss scenes, views that you don't normally get to see. Part of the reason you're here in Croatia is to see its beauty. So don't rush through it. It's okay to go a little slower. It's safer. Some of these grades were 9.5%. In the United States, we might see a 6% on a rare occasion, but in Croatia, 9.5% because half the country's mountainside up and down along the coast. That is not uncommon. So take your time. Don't rush it. Enjoy the beauty. That is what visiting Croatia is all about. So it's been good talking to you. This is Kelly from Nerdgasmic Adventures. I hope this has helped you. If you liked this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe as it helps the channel out quite a bit. And if you're interested in any of our tour packages, go to yourtravelheroes.com for regular tour packages, or for our special story-based travel, go to nerdgasmicadventures.com. We also sell art at artbyadventure.com from these locations that we go to. I find them all just gorgeous and fascinating, and I just love sharing it with you, and hopefully we can support this channel longer so you can see more journeys that I've taken. Anyways, thank you very much, and stay adventured.